Welcome back to this week's episode of EVTV. I'm Sam.
And I'm Justin. After this year, 50% of our English staff at EVHS will be departing.
Let's see what the district can do to help us.
At the end of this year at EVHS, our English department will be suffering high turnover, but that could just be a microcosm of the partially failing education system on the state level.
Our challenge is, of course, finding affordable housing. We try to be in the top 10 of our state of 178 districts, but I think the other metric we have to consider is how does Colorado rank among the other 50 states? And we're near the bottom. So we lose a lot of educators to other states that pay much higher than we do and have a cost of living much lower than we do.
You know, our state not paying is driving teachers even out of the state to some place where it's going to pay more. Teachers are leaving the industry for higher paying jobs right here, or they're leaving the state for higher paying teacher jobs or lower cost of living teacher jobs.
According to the Colorado Education Association, the Colorado Education Department has operated at a deficit of $10 billion for the last decade. This is largely due to parts of the Colorado tax system preventing money from going to schools.
What our state has failed to do over time is to define adequate. So we have a state funding formula and it's tied to property tax. But if you look at how we fund our schools at average per pupil spending, we're about $3,000 below the national average in per pupil funding. If we could invest those dollars in our schools, then we could compensate our teachers much better, be much more competitive. But at present, the state has no definition of what an adequate cost to educate our students would be. Then we just take whatever the legislature is willing to give us, which is woefully inadequate, and there's not enough momentum to change that formula.
So then it's the problem, do you put the money towards teachers, more FTE, more teachers, or you put it towards salary? So you get smaller class sizes, or do teachers get more money? So there's this balancing act that they have to deal with just with that scenario.
Using the limited resources it has, the district is currently attempting to alleviate part of the cost of housing in the valley.
For many in our community, especially our employees, they are house poor. They're spending 50, 60, 70% of their income sometimes on housing, which leaves barely any discretionary income to do anything else. We're building rentals in Edwards. We're building some homes in Eagle in partnership with Habitat for Humanity that will be for purchase. And we've got other projects online to continue to develop more housing. So there's a couple of examples of how we're trying to reach that more affordable living rate.
When Colorado as a whole is struggling to stay effectively funded, sometimes the district has to turn to unconventional means to get students the education they require.
So is it sustainable? If enough people with the right personality want to do it, it's sustainable. But again, it's hiring from other countries for a 2 to 3 year turnaround is a little tougher. I mean, we get some great people. I'm not saying they're not great people. They are great. But it's hard to do that with a 2 to 3 year turnaround. Then you start over with that much work. So I think we're going to have to for a while, but hopefully people come back to want to be in the industry.
Not only are teachers denied fair, reasonable wages and housing by the state, they also often take the brunt of criticism from the public.
Today what we see is K-12 educators are more and more frequently in the crosshairs. They're accused of teaching things that people think are inappropriate, or they don't like the politics of the teachers, and they're constantly targeted, constantly criticized. If you choose to enter it at this point, you know that you're entering the culture war. Whether you want to or not, that's the environment that K-12 has been placed in.
These problems are not just plaguing EVHS in Colorado. This is a nationwide problem, and ultimately, it's up to us as future voters to make meaningful change. For Eagle Valley Student Media, this has been Justin and Sam.
How well do our favorite teacher couples know each other? This week we pitted the Wheelers against each other in part 1 of this game show.
This week we interviewed the Wheelers to see how well they knew each other.
What hospital was Amy born in?
You're getting really specific. I'm going to say that she was born at Kettering Memorial Hospital in Dayton, Ohio.
What is Amy's mom's middle name?
Like names that people don't use anymore. We'll say like Gertrude.
What is Amy's celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush? I don't... Ooh. I'd say celebrity chef Curtis Stone.
Cool. What is Amy's comfort food?
We like all food. But we'll go pizza because, I mean, there's never a wrong time for pizza.
When asked what hospital you were born in, Mr. Wheeler answered, Kettering Hospital in Ohio.
Yeah.
Kettering Memorial?
Yeah.
Okay. When asked what your mom's middle name was, he said Gertrude.
I have no idea. Like, we don't talk about mom's middle names. What's your mom's middle name?
Elizabeth.
See, I was wondering because of the fact that she used the shortened version for oh my gosh.
Yeah, you knew that.
When asked what your celebrity crush is, he answered Curtis Stone.
It's a celebrity chef.
I'm
I don't
really
know.
into that. Yeah.
I know, right?
I think I would have had a hard time answering that one, so sure.
When asked how many bones you've broken, Mr. Wheeler answered 0.
I know you've had like ligaments and stuff like that, and I know you've had like, you know, like the soccer stuff, but I didn't think you'd actually broken any bones.
2. Not too bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When asked what your comfort food was, he said pizza.
Heck yeah.
It's never a wrong time for pizza.
What place would Mr. Wheeler most like to visit?
I'm gonna guess probably Everest Base Camp, Nepal.
What month and year did you guys first meet?
September 2001.
Any
Pet of
yeah.
his childhood. His dog Harry.
What is Mr. Wheeler's favorite movie?
Ooh, gosh, probably Royal Tenenbaums.
What was your guys' first date and who asked who out?
Oh gosh, I don't know. We were in college, so like less formal dating. A rugby party, we'll say that.
So, when asked what place you want to visit most, Amy said Everest Base Camp.
Yeah, that'd be pretty solid. Like, I mean, quite honestly, that's one of like 2 destination places for sure.
Okay, good. So when asked what month and year you met, Amy said September 2001. So when asked what your childhood pet name, she answered Harry.
Oh, 100%. His big old Dalmatian. He was awesome.
Yeah. And then when asked what your favorite movie was, she said Royal Tenenbaums.
Yep, Royal Tenenbaums.
When asked what your first date was and who asked who out, Amy said a rugby party and you.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah! I mean,
Make sure to tune in next time for Dupree and Rivera. Thank you for watching this week's episode of EVTV. See you next week.